games are just beginning. Why? Well, we have a new mascot. This is Lockjaw. Hey, Steve Mignoni here doing the junkyard crawl, but today it's hubcap time, Hubcap Game. So we've worked our way through the back of this Chevy van, right to the middle. It's a place where I can't reach any further, so now we're gonna go from the front to the back. Let's begin. All right, yes, Ford V8. This is about a 1936 Ford wheel cover from the days when Ford hubcaps were made of basically steel with a stainless applique on the face, but massive wheel circle, like something like 7 inches, 5 bolts, but like far apart. And this again, 1936 Ford V8, again, 32, first year for the V8, the first American V8 for the masses. Pretty cool stuff. Okay. American Motors, American woman, stay away from, no. This is American Motors Rambler, or basically American Motors, an American, there you go. Basic wheel cover. This thing's been smudged and crunched, but this is stainless steel. And again, this was originally on a car that was built in Kenosha, Wisconsin, the American Motors, Rambler American. Okay, this is kind of weird Pontiac. This is from a front wheel drive, probably a Pontiac ST6000 or one of those weird front wheel drive things from the 80s. But look at this, plastic construction, but with a simulated metal face. This is actually a brushed stainless steel face, bonded and crimped to a plastic backing. The lug nuts are totally bogus, totally fake, and here's the backs of them. But again, this is just indicative or classic of the 1980s when things were simulated. Not a real steel wheel, that's too expensive. We'll give you a plastic one with a fake face on it, but these sold pretty well. Pontiac front wheel drive stuff right here. This is cool. Okay, this might kind of look like a, a Chevy or something like that. There we go, Checker Motors. And Checker, of course, was the leader in taxi cabs and fleet vehicles, the Checker Marathons, which were some of the most popular taxi cabs on the planet, and in production for 1950 to 1984 or something like that, a long time. And these are stainless, kind of cool. These snap onto the 15-inch wheel, but again, Checker motor cars, there you go, and kind of cool. This is one of the last independents, the Checker right there, kind of cool. Okay, this is a 50s Chrysler, the center logo, probably Imperial. It would have been right here, sort of a copper or a gold-plated Imperial crest, a one-piece, kind of a cool structure, really very nice, like a dome. Kind of a cool deal right there, but certainly, almost certainly a Chrysler item from 1952, 3, something like that. Probably equipped, stuck to a Hemi-powered car, Chrysler Firepower, one of the early Hemi cars. Okay, more simulation from General Motors, and I'm not crushing on it, but this is definitely Buick Skylark, the A body or the G body, you choose, and the wire wheel, the fake wire wheel. But look at this, they went through the effort of having, there's got to be 100 pieces on this thing, but it's completely simulated. It's got a stamped core, stainless steel, and a steel or ferrous iron or metal-based rustable kind of inner clip, which is crimped to the outer, the lucite plastic. So again, the effort that went into building and designing this thing probably would have been about equal to actually making a wire wheel, just saying. Kind of weird, but these were very popular. I saw them on every street corner as a kid. Okay, okay, this is going to be, I think, like a Nissan Sentra or something like that. Plastic, look at this thing. And again, how cheap and how inexpensive. But again, this is how you make a car $8,000 in a world of $12,000 cars or thereabouts. And again, plastic. These little ring here that would snap into the 13-inch rim and keep it on, kinda. Somebody hit the curb here and crunched it real good, but this was on a front-wheel drive Econobox of some kind. Maybe a Hyundai, I don't really know or care. Let's see, okay, more weirdness from General Motors. This is a Pontiac Sunbird, 1976, 78, like that. And again, it's plastic. Kind of has the feel of the Pontiac honeycomb wheels, like on a Trans Am, those honeycomb wheels, but a geometric shape. But again, this is plastic with metal crimped on center and outer ring, but we know better. Here's the plastic with these little metal jags here that clip into the 13-inch wheel and make it look. It's not a bad little wheel. The Pontiac crest, the arrowhead is gone, but this is not fooling. This is Pontiac Sunbird right there. This is the Monza-based vehicle of that time.
Speaking of Pontiac, this is from a little better days when Pontiac engineering was really leading the way. This is from a Tempest, about a 62, maybe a 61 or 2 Tempest. And this, of course, would have had the transaxle in the back and the rope drive, which basically was a solid bendable drive shaft that went from the back of the engine to the rear of the car, where it then coupled to either the manual transmission or the automatic. But these are the 15-inch wheel covers. Yes, 15-inch wheels on Pontiac's senior compact, the original Tempest, 1961, 2, and 3. And this wheel cover was once on one of them. We're on a Pontiac run. This is missing its red PMD lucite plastic center, but again, this is a one-piece stamping, and we all know this is like 1969 Pontiac Grand Prix base wheel cover, or, you know, full-size executive station wagon. I think also used in 70, so 69, 70 full-size Pontiac right there. Kind of cool. More simulation from GM. This is going to be a front-wheel drive Buick Skylark, I think. These were when the X-body or the J-body, I think the X-body. Again, it's a stamped stainless. It's kind of nice, textured argent paint, nicely masked. Actual lug nuts on these. These actually had chrome acorn nuts on them. It's a multi-piece wheel. Again, we have the steel or the ferrous metal based clip crimped together thing, but again, stainless and regular iron type metal. And again, front wheel drive Buick right here. Probably a Skyhawk or something like that, whatever they call them. Buick, more simulation from Buick. General Motors. And this again is more, you know, fake wire wheel, but these are amazingly popular. You'd see this like on a 79, 80, 81, 82, electric 225 or something like that. And again, it is a multi-piece item, stainless steel. And look at how the spokes are pierced and punched into this. They're not adjustable by any stretch. They're just meant to look the part, and pretty elaborate stuff. They even have a hexed face in them, which would emulate the look of an adjustable spoke, like on a TR3 or something like that. But no, and even a knockoff effect right here, this hex right here to like a spin-on, like a, you know, a hub mount type wheel. But no, this is strictly a 15-inch simulation on a full-size Buick. And again, these help to sell cars. They look classy and they worked. Okay, more Pontiac here. I believe we just maybe saw one of these. Anyway, here's the Pontiac name once again. Front-wheel drive Pontiac. Again, that's that sort of hybrid construction. Plastic meets stainless face. And again, somebody curb shotted this thing, crunched up real sweet. And once that happens, there's no coming back, but who cares? Oh, this is a sweetheart. Okay, JC Whitney, or JC Warshawski, I think it was basically a company based out of Chicago. They would sell you knockoffs, not literally, but sort of fakes, copies of other things that were cool. This is sort of a Krager mag wheel looking thing, but it's a fake snap-on wheel cover. It is kind of elaborate, the die-cast spinner here that doesn't spin anything. It basically is screwed on with 3 little fasteners right there. And I love the fake lug nuts that are sort of hinted at, a suggestion of a lug nut right there. It's even got a hex face, but these are nothing more than impressions that have been pressed in. And again, cheesy flash chroming on this thing, so it's coming apart. But these are kind of, people collect these things. And this thing on the wall would be kind of cool. Conversation starter, guaranteed. Almost better like this than shiny. I like it, even though I hate it. Okay, here is a full-size Chevy wheel cover, 68, 69, you know, Impala, Bel Air, whatever, but with the lucite plastic center. These are almost always missing. This one's cracked, but Chevrolet Motor Division right there, otherwise a one-piece stamping. But it's interesting how it's held on. It's just basically a triangular spring clip, if you will, right here that just sort of snaps in place. But these things are almost always missing. And I've said this before, I'll say it again. As a kid, we used to sneak around. If we saw one of these things with the center off, we'd grab a couple of rocks and put them inside of there so the guy would drive up wondering what the heck was wrong with his car. At speed, they just go like that. When you slow down, they'd start to tumble like a brick in a washing machine. All right. Ooh, okay. This is kind of a puzzler, but this is Buick because I happen to have seen these before. Kind of weird. This is Buick's crest, kind of, sort of, before they got into the Tri-Shield. This would have been like on a 53 Buick, I'm pretty sure. Ooh, boy, this is certainly on the front of the car. We can see this grease in here. This is almost certainly going to be a front spindle, the dust cap leaking grease from years into this here and just creating a greasy atmosphere inside of this 53-ish Buick wheel cover. That's my guess on that one. Go here. Oh yeah, well, it speaks for itself. Dodge.
Going to be about a 1950, 49, 50, 51 maybe, right on the edge of when Dodge was styled by KT Keller, really boxy looking things. And KT Keller, the head of Dodge, used to say, our cars won't, the styling won't knock the eyes out of your head, but it won't knock the hat off the top of your head. In other words, big, tall greenhouses. Keller liked to wear hats. And his thing was you had to be able to sit in a Dodge car and wear a hat. Kind of goofy, but these are the wheel covers on them, and no Hemis at this point, strictly 6-banger power at this age. So this wheel cover didn't spin that fast or that hard when it was on the car that it was originally built with. 6-cylinder Dodge. Oh boy, okay. Special edition, there you go. And GM did a fantastic job replicating the look of a wire wheel. This is a cheesy parts store replica. These things were generally seen in kits that you would buy to make your used car look a little better when you tried to sell it. But special edition, these actually were used by some automakers. I forget exactly who. And in some cases, like miniature camper vans and stuff would have these things as factory equipment. So these are cheesy as heck, but not just for the aftermarket. These did appear, I think, on some like little minivans and things like that. They're like mini Winnies, that kind of stuff. I think maybe the Lachero or Renault thing, but hideous. Okay, Chevy Malibu right here, 1978, I think, when the Malibu went through its downsizing, maybe 79, I think that's what it was, when Malibu lost 700 pounds and became a much smaller vehicle. And of course, this is the bones of what would become the Buick Grand National, the same A-body / G-body. Good stuff, Chevy Malibu. So that ends the 19th edition of the Hubcap game, but the games are just beginning. Why? Well, we have a new mascot. This is Lockjaw, the junkyard dog, and this, of course, is Rudolph Dieselhead, and they're having a stare down. This is a game I think that's going to play out. Come back soon, and we'll show you how it ends up. It's going to be exciting.